Welcome back to Freshwater Healer. I pray all is well with you guys. Let's relax and release. I want you to release anything or anyone that does not serve your highest good. I have a question for you guys. Are you more focused on looking good rather than being good? Better yet, are you more focused on your children looking good rather than being good? I pause because I want you to think about that question. In other words, are you prioritizing outward appearances and superficial qualities such as materialism, status, popularity, or looks over genuine character, integrity, or positive actions? If so, I want you guys to remember this. You can only fake it till you make it for so long. It's not sustainable, guys. You can only pretend for so long before the mask will drop. It's difficult to maintain a facade indefinitely. The Bible tells us in Matthew 23 and 28, "For you appear like good men on the outside, but inside you are a mask of pretense and wickedness." Do you know anyone like that? Unfortunately, we all do. I'm talking about this subject today because I want you guys to truly be aware that this type of individual do exist. You have to look deeper. I know it happened to me. I met someone, they seem to be a good person, they know how to put themselves together, they seem to be kind, but inside, guys, it's a heart thing. Inside, they were filled with evil, deception, wickedness, jealousy, envy. So you have to look deeper. Ask more questions. I said earlier, it's difficult to maintain a facade indefinitely. But truth be told, they are not to blame for this type of behavior. Then again, I say this all the time, as an adult, you have a decision or a choice to make how you choose to show up in the world. But I want you to know that it starts early, guys. This behavior starts early. It's a learned behavior acquired through experience, interaction with the environment, or plain observation of our parents' misguided beliefs. The statement that children will imitate what they see is so true. Children learn from observing and mimicking the actions and behavior of those around them. This is known as observational learning or social learning. This is why it's important as parents to model desired behaviors and avoid negative ones around your children. Teach your children good habits early and avoid negative habits, or correct the negative habits early. Be intentional about what you do, what you say, and what you value around your children. This is important, guys, because these children, they grow up to become adults. And when they become adults, they become bullies. So it's important that you not get so comfortable around your children and just show them these negative behaviors. Because once again, I say lead by example. Be intentional about what you're doing in front of your children and what you're saying, because they are paying attention and they will mimic you. Keep in mind, as a parent, whatever you place great importance on, your children will most likely develop similar values, such as, I know some parents place great importance on haircuts, beauty styles, makeup, um, just everything that concerns the outer body, but no importance on being respectful to others, being genuinely a kind person, and not bullying, not going around bullying other children. Because most of the time you do know, because what they demonstrate inside the home, they will demonstrate outside. So as soon as you see this type of behavior, correct it. Give discipline, guys. I know it takes a lot of energy to discipline, but discipline immediately, because discipline says to a child, eventually, that you care, that you love them. Truly it does, eventually. And you should generally be aware of who's influencing your children and what is influencing your children. Be aware of their friends. Get involved in their lives. Be aware of what they're doing in school, what they're watching on TV, what they're playing with on the computer. Be aware. When your children prioritize appearances over character, they will face negative consequences as adults. Negative consequences as low self-esteem, such as low self-esteem, having a negative opinion of themselves, criticizing themselves harshly, because most of the time, because they can't look a certain way or they can't dress a certain way, they begin to criticize themselves. They have mental health issues, such as anxiety, depression, and other mental challenges. Very much obsessed with appearances. That leads to constantly comparing themselves to other people and constantly feeling dissatisfied with their looks and with life in general. Jealousy and envy becomes very apparent in their life. So there are consequences for putting appearances over character. They have difficulty forming genuine relationships. They may feel pressured to maintain a certain image, which makes it difficult to be authentically themselves. Maintaining a pretentious image, it requires effort and hard work. And like we said before, eventually the mask will drop. And that brings on frustration and anger. Again, unfortunately, we live in a society that often teaches our children to place greater emphasis on outward appearances over inner qualities. Guys, it should be both inner and outward qualities. It should be a balance. You have to teach your children. It should be a balance. Don't focus so much to the extreme on how you look on the outside and not care about what's going on the inside. Inner beauty, such as kindness, compassion, and character is crucial for overall happiness. If all you care about is how you look on the outside, inside, you're not going to be happy, not as happy as you possibly can, because you can't achieve that outer look. So we don't want the focus to be so much on how I look on the outside, or how if my image is up to par, but yet the inside is resenting, very resentful, and very angry, and very wicked. I've talked to some adults, truly, that have never even thought about what the word respectful means. Growing up, they never even heard someone say, be respectful, or even talked about character. They wanted to know, what does it mean to have a good character? But they were taught how to look good, but not how to be good. And even if they were taught to be good, not authentically themselves. And that's what you're aiming for. That's what the fight is about. Let's authentically take back all the layers of the pretense and be authentically yourself. Stop focusing on physical attributes such as weight, height, skin tone, hair, and fine clothing. You know, everybody has a different household. But let's make a decision in your household that you're going to balance this thing. You're not going to put so much emphasis on your child's outer appearance versus how they act in school, how they act around other people, how they act on a job. Teach them those things as well. And be a good example for them. Footnote, just because it looks good doesn't mean it is good. And I want you guys to get that footnote, because as I indicated, I was fooled. I didn't catch the red flags. I didn't look deeper. And when I did see things that was not right, I ignored it because that person appears to be a good person. This is how you can end up sleeping with the enemy. They look good, but they're not good for you. I know it is said that you can't give away something that you don't have. But it's time to evolve, guys. It's time to have it. It's time to learn it. It's time to change. Throw away those bad belief systems. And start growing. And if it's not for you, do it for the next generation. It's time to break the generational cycles, guys. Let's make a decision today that we are going to break the generational cycles. If not in your life and not in your family, let's do it for the world. Because as I indicate, it's a ripple effect. You do it and someone else will do it too. So let's disrupt this repeated generational pattern. I want you guys to remember this. It's not about who you pretend to be. The goal is for your inside, the essence of who you are and what you believe and your values to line up, to be aligned with your outside, who you say you are, and your actions and your behavior. So many of us are living out of agreement with oneself. The inner world is saying one thing, and the outer world is showing another. Let's get on one accord with oneself. We try to do it with other people, but first you have to do it with yourself. Essentially, allowing your inner and outer persona to be in harmony. Here's a principle for us to remember. For things to be better, you have to do better. I'll repeat that. For things to be better, you have to do better. So let's stand on that principle, okay? Until next time, God bless you, and I love you.